So it's time for chores. Now this video goes out to Slow Ride 55. Finally getting her done, buddy. And he just wants to know the basics about driving this 4230. So we're gonna start from scratch. First thing you do, obviously, is open the door, hop on in. It's been a little chilly today, so I don't know if this thing is gonna start or not without its daily fix. So first thing you do is you got your throttle here, and you want to throttle that all the way up, because when you're cranking it over in a diesel, you want to give it just as much diesel as possible to get it to fire when it's cold. And then as soon, well, I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so in this tractor, you make sure, now we busted our knob off here, but I'll get around to fixing that one of these days. I got enough of that stuff to do. But got to make sure your knob is pushed in. Now that's just a fuel cutoff switch, and when you pull that out, it cuts off fuel to the injection pump. And then you just hit your key. Crank it. Now usually with this tractor, if it doesn't pop within the first handful of cranks, you're going to have to give it some ether. And it's looking like we're going to have to give it a shot. So you get your ether from the parts and tools can. Now in this tractor, as I've explained before, there is no ether injection port. You can't just hit a button to spray in the ether. So you got to spray it in the intake tube, just right here. Which doesn't always work great because the ether evaporates pretty quickly and doesn't always get sucked down in right away. Not a really efficient means of putting in ether. So you give it the ether, and then we'll see if it starts. And then you want to throttle it down right away. Throttle it down to where it's just still idling. And then this door is, I got to make an adjustment there. Doesn't always shut the first time. So then we'll go ahead and grab a bale. So, got to put it in reverse. Now I usually just run this tractor in C range. It's just easier that way. Gives you a good enough range of speed that you can go slow or fast. So you put your main range lever up into C. And you bring this one down and down into reverse. So then you, like I've showed in my other videos, you pull back on that lever, and that lever. We'll go ahead and tip the bucket back, open the grapple forks up. Got it in reverse already, so we'll just back it up and get lined up to our bale. We're going to take that end one off the top. We're going to put this one in first. We're driving around some bumpy territory, so we don't want to shake stuff up too bad. We get up to the bale, pull this lever up. Now, normally I'd do this all on the go, but since I'm holding the camera, it's hard to steer and run the hydraulics and hold the camera all at the same time. And, well, I do it, but I wouldn't get much of a video. So, you know, if you want to know what I'm doing here, you got to check out my 4230 how to run the hydraulics video. You come up into the bale, grab on, squeeze her down, tilt it back, and then we'll put it down in reverse and back it up. Now, like I've said before, you always want to try and keep your center of gravity low. So whatever you're hauling, your load, you want to try and keep that as low to the ground as you can without rubbing your bucket on the ground. So then we're going to put this up into third gear. Sometimes this thing can be a little bit stiff, especially when it's cold. Usually, you know, with the throttle, you know, I like a foot throttle, but like with this one, it's just got the hand throttle, no foot throttle. So you just set it at 1100, 1200 RPMs and just kind of putt around that way. And you aren't always messing with that hand throttle there. Oh boy, Kayla's up there already grabbing a calf. Well, let's get this bale to the top of the hill. Then we can roll it down. Then we'll go give Kayla a hand with the calf there. Going up the hill, so we got to throttle it a bit. We're running at just under 2,000 RPM, about 1,800. It's looking like I better get some fuel in it here pretty soon. Come on, there we go, there we go. And we get spun around here. We'll back up. Now, set the bale down. Tilt that. Undo the grapple. And we'll just back away from it. So then, in order to put this tractor, we'll throttle it down here. But we'll put this one up in neutral. Now, in order to put the tractor in park, which is right there, with the main range, you've actually got to have this thing in neutral, the secondary shift. So, there we go. Just open the door like so. Yeah, and the bale's rolled the right way. Then we just cut the wrap and roll it on down the hill. Oh, getting all friendly. So then we want to grab this wrap up. We want to make sure we get it all out of there so we don't lose it. Otherwise it litters up the yard and makes a big old mess. So we'll just pull it up over top of the bale like that and then pull it off to the side. So that when the bale rolls out, leaves that wrap sitting there. Come on, Amy. Out of the way. There you go, get out of the way, Deli. So then we just put our shoulder into it and we push, push, and this is why we got to be at the top of the hill. It just helps with the whole process. And then down it goes. Gets unrolled. Simple as that. Joyce is up on her horse. Hey, where are you going with Ugly?
Taking her in.
What about the calf?
That's Deli's calf.
Yeah, I know, but what are we going to do with Deli's calf?
Take it in too?
Okay. Oh, why didn't Kayla grab it up and put in?
Because we only had that one down there, I guess. I don't know.
Well, okay. Who knows? Yeah, Joe's being obnoxious. Joe the crazy paint sniffing dog. So, Slow Ride 55, I hope that answers your question about how to drive the tractor, and maybe some other questions as well.